This is WomanUp, which is my senior capstone, and this is me. This is also my best friend Hannah. She's done an insane amount of work for this project, so I figured she should be recognized. You'll see her a lot more in a little bit. So welcome to the design process. This is the identify step. My original problem statement was homeless women in Akron need ways to safely access hygiene products. So now we're moving on to the investigate step, which is where I learned all about the homeless population in our area and kind of began to understand how important this problem really is. It's way bigger than just someone begging on the street corner or someone living at the Haven of Rest for a week. This is really a serious problem in our area, and it was really interesting to learn more about it. The root causes I have identified for my problem are product affordability and pink tax, which is a huge thing for these women because many of them have been unemployed for a long time and don't have the money to afford things like this. Lack of existing programs that are free or have no qualifications. Most of the programs that are offered charge a fee to participate, or you have to qualify hitting certain guidelines they set, but many women can't. And then overcrowded shelters with lacking supplies is another big one because many homeless shelters have too many people, not enough product, so taking on more people is just not an option. I decided to pursue the lack of existing programs because it's something that's realistic to create and successful, will be a successful product. So interpret is where we evaluate our research, update our problem statement, and start to brainstorm solutions. So how my learning changed my approach. This gave me a new perspective on how big and important this problem is and what needs to be done to fix it. So that gave me my new problem statement. Homeless women in Akron need a way to safely access hygiene products because I learned that there are no currently existing programs to provide them without charge. My principles that I'm using are effective, affordable, accessible, and repeatable because I feel like if I follow these four words as rules for my solution, then I will have a successful solution. So this is my ideate step, where I came up with different solution ideas and decided which one would work best. So my potential solutions were a student donation drive, where I would hold a donation contest between multiple schools to see which school can donate the most items, and donate the collected items to shelters in the area. Fundraiser in a box, which would be gaining a collection of items or monetary donations, and then making a list of resources, and creating a fundraiser kit that other people can use to recreate the same fundraiser. And my last option was going to be shelter visit weekends where students could sign up to volunteer and help out at shelters on weekend afternoons. So then the solution I chose was a combination of all three solution options because it would be most effective and reasonable to complete, and it's a repeatable program and kit form. So I did a donation drive at STEM and as well as in my community, and I made it into a kit and decided to include a volunteer day for students to help create gift bags of collected products to give to homeless shelters in the area. I thought about how to do it and be successful, and I decided to create a kit of resources and materials for anybody to host a fundraising event and volunteer weekend because it is the most doable and effective for my task. Now on to implement, where I actually went and did this whole drive to include in my kit as an example. Me actually doing it was kind of like a test run, seeing if my kit would be applicable in the real world. Many of my reviewers suggested things like including the community or local businesses, which I did, but most of my feedback was more supportive than suggestive, and it really helped me gain some awesome help from different businesses. How the feedback changed my project, I collected a lot of donations from outside sources like local businesses and community members. So this is WomanUp. WomanUp kit includes a list of contacts and who they are, flyers and all the information and materials I created in order to pull off my successful donation event. And in order to pull something off like this, I found out you have to have literally no other time commitments. This is basically all I've done for the past 6 months. So we hung posters, created a social media presence, and met with the National Winners Hall of Fame, who actually did a whole donation drive for me in their office. My final product ended up being 180 bags of donated products made by students for homeless women, with a kit of instructions to help you do it yourself. While hosting the the donation drive, I also hosted a money fundraiser to purchase travel-sized bottles and containers to repackage the items I was receiving. The teacher who got the most money donated to them was duct taped to the wall at our pep rally. So here you see Coach Roush. He stayed there for about 45 minutes. He's not very happy with me. So this is our counting and sorting phase for weeks. Me and Hannah counted and sorted items. Literally, this is all we've done for weeks. And to wrap it all up, we had a group of student volunteers come stuff bags of products on a Saturday morning that are now being delivered to 4 different shelters in the Akron area: United Way, Community Access, Rahab Ministries, and the Homeless Charity. This is me and Hannah delivering bags to Access. They received 30 bags, and they love them. And that is how WomanUp has gone from a simple capstone project to a not-for-profit organization partnered with local shelters to provide homeless women with hygiene products. 180 bags created by us with a kit to do it all yourself. One of the things I would change is the amount of social media presence I had. I used a lot of my personal accounts to gain interest from community members, but I could have used school websites, newspapers, things like that to get more school involvement. I would also like to be more organized in my volunteering event because I ended up having to remake some of the bags that were made incorrectly, and we had a lot less volunteers than expected. And finally, I'd like to especially thank the National Letters Hall of Fame for hosting a donation drive and donating all the bags to package our items. And my 4 receiving shelters, they've been in contact with me for 6 months now, and they have been super helpful with their feedback. Coaches Metcalf and Popa for their continued support and for nominating me for an award for this project. National Honor Society at my school for taking this project over next year with my help, and my wonderful mom who has volunteered her time and money and her support as well as her dining room. So, thank you guys so much.